What's up, guys? This is Barrymore with another DHC video, and today is a great day because we get our first look at the quality of life patch improvements. So this is good stuff, guys. I read through the patch, and really good stuff, like quality of life improvements for sure. So I want to go through this patch real quick with you guys, and I want to share my thoughts and what I think, and maybe you guys can share your thoughts back with me. But let's look at it real quick, okay? So basically, at the beginning, what's up, champions? Massive change will be occurring in Dungeon Hunter champions, massive for sure. Here's what's new in the upcoming update. So let's look at it real quick. So the rollback issues have been addressed again. This was addressed before, I believe, but I guess they're addressing it even further now because it didn't work out too good before. But this one's working out. I guess hopefully this works out better, like they actually fix it. But let's look at more good stuff. Menus and metagames. So new feature, grid view in the champions menu allows players to see more champions at once, filtering options to find champions faster, especially Fuzzlepuff. So this is great, guys. Now you can actually see your champions in a grid. If you're familiar with like a game like Summoner's War, where you can see all your champions on a grid instead of just one long line and having to scroll to the left and right, you can now just see them in one grid. And even better, you can even filter them now. So this is really good, guys. Now you don't have to scroll left and right just to find that one champion. You can see them all at once, or like in a big grid, and then you can even filter them now, which is even better. That's great. Next one, new feature, mass selling gear. This is, if you guys saw the screenshot, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the screenshot that was going around last week. I believe it was a week ago. There was a screenshot that showed somebody playing the game, I guess a player. They were selling multiple pieces of their gear at once. So now instead of just selling one gear at once, one piece of gear, you can select all the ones that you want, and then he was able to filter them through, like bracers, gloves, shoulders, and all that good stuff. And you were able to filter them, which is awesome because now you don't have to go one by one. You can just sell them all at once and get all the gold. It'll show you how much gold you're getting from selling all those things, and really good stuff. New feature, buy energy directly from the results grid at the end of battle. This is another great thing. Like this patch just gets better and better as it goes through, guys. Now instead of having to refill your energy by going back to the tavern, going to the refill tab, having to buy your energy, now you can just do it directly from the battle results screen, which is awesome. Now less loading times and faster dungeons, faster energy uses on dungeons, and then you just go through them without having to go back and load every single time. That's great, awesome stuff. New feature is now possible to sell equipped gear pieces without unequipping them. I don't know what this is, to be honest. I'm assuming it's when instead of unequipping your item, your gear, you can just sell it directly from your guy. It's not possible to sell equipped gear pieces without unequipping them. So that's pretty cool if that's how it is. If you're able to just sell your gear that you have equipped on your guy, like if it says it's just a piece of gear that you had on him on that champion, just to maybe fill up the requirements for the armor set piece, and you just don't want to sell it to take it off, or you don't want to use your gold to take it off and then sell it. Now you can just directly sell it from the champion himself without having to unequip it, from what it looks like, which is, that's pretty cool. Now, I mean, you're not wasting money to unequip something to then sell it at a cheaper price than what you paid for to unequip. So that's pretty sweet. Like, that's cool. Timer is now shown on results screen and battle reports. So now you can see your time. That's cool. At least, okay. So now you can see your times, your timers, after the battle results. So instead of having to watch the actual dungeon run just to see your times, you can just wait to the very end and it'll show at the top or whatever it's going to be at. And now you can compare your time runs every time. Instead of having just, like I said, look at your right before the battle ends, try to kind of figure out what times you have for your runs. Now you get to see it at the end. Awesome. Warning pop-up is now displayed when a player equips a 4-star, 5-star, 6-star to inform him or her that it will cost gold to unequip. That's great, because before, when the game first started, I was like, oh man, okay, Now you don't have to pay. You don't even have to pay money to unequip stuff. You could just equip it and not have to worry about it. But when I got to 4-star gear, I was like, wait a minute, why do I have to pay 2,500 gold just to take it off? I thought it was free. So that's kind of cool now. Now it's gonna tell you you have to pay. I mean, maybe, hopefully you can like opt to take that off, because it's gonna get kind of annoying to have to. It's gonna inform you every single time you're equipping 6-star gear once you're already used to it, you know, and you already know that you have to pay. Maybe hopefully they'll give you a option to take that off and not have to be reminded every single time, because you already know. This next one, guys, remove Fire Monkey King from all summoning drop tables. It can only be obtained in the adventure map. This could change in the future, of course, like it says. But for those of you guys that have fed your Nat 5 Monkey King, rip, because now you can't get him ever until they bring him back a different way. So, thankfully I didn't. I fed one of mine because I pulled a dupe, but I have my original one still. So, rip, like I said. But maybe, like I said, they'll change it later. Maybe he'll become really OP later, or maybe he'll become usable, or maybe he's already usable. But hopefully you guys can get him some other way later on, and it won't be too hard. Like maybe you don't have to summon him or whatever. Next one, added Water, Nature, Fire Squire to the drop table from common disc. Okay, so now you can get those 3 from just regular common disc. You weren't able to before. Show ascending bonus in the ascend menu. This is really good, because when you used to ascend your champions, you have to go into and click the portrait just to check what they ascend into, what kind of bonuses. Some ascended into crit rate. The Fire Monkey King is the only one that I know that it ascended into crit damage. Some ascended to resistance, and some give you more attack speed, some give you more accuracy. This is good because it actually tells you now what they give you. It didn't used to before, which is great. Very, very good. Remove confirmation message for cleanup and added one to claim all in your inbox. Okay. Many small visual improvements in the menus. Okay, could do that. Fix an issue where chat window would scroll down to the bottom every time a new message appeared, even if the user was scrolling up. So this is kind of annoying to me. Whenever I used to go to chat just to see what people were talking about, every time a new message came up, it would scroll me all the way back down to where I was, to where the new message pops up, which is annoying because if you're trying to scroll up, I don't know, maybe some of you guys read general chat. I often don't. Sometimes it's fun to see what people are talking about, but now, and even in your guild messages, when people are typing a lot, and like, you know, you don't have time to read every single message, you want to scroll up, but every time a new message came up, it will scroll you back down. So this is good. Fix several quick connection issues that will prevent players from reconnecting back to the game after an interrupt, phone call, closing the app, etc. This is good because I don't know how many times I messed up by getting a phone call or closing the app to check something real quick, and then it would say reconnect, but then it would say fail over and over and over. So hopefully this addresses that issue, which is this is a lot better. Now you can actually close the app or go to your home screen on your phone or whatnot, and you don't have to have the fear of not being able to reconnect during a run, which is awesome. Fixing a UAI issue where friends champions appeared as gaining experience at the end of the battle, which cannot happen. That's good, because how it is now, when you use a friend rep to go help you get XP for your other 3 champions, it would be like that champion, your friend champion, got the same amount of XP as your other 3 ones, instead of the friend champion experience being added to the other 3. So this is good. Now it's raising the experience you get in total for your other 3 champions that you're trying to fodder. Really good stuff. Where we at? Back to scroll down. Fix the newsfeed redirecting to online page. Alright, so let's take a look at guilds. Guild shop will now sell the same champion shards as the ones found in the current daily Bull Demon. Dample Light Boon Sister shards can be bought on Sundays. That is really good, especially for newer players trying to get the Light Boon Sister. Instead of having to grind, and most of us already know the long, huge grind that it would took just to get those Light Boon Sisters, just to get the Dark Dryad, or even the Water Basket, the Nature Rock, if you're trying to get those. So you guys know how long it took just to get those pieces. It was hours and hours on end trying to get even one piece. Now you can actually buy them with guild points. So if you're not really in a hurry to get, you know, Light Boon Sister, which you should be either way, but even then you can help yourself by buying shards from the guild shop. Doesn't say how much they cost yet, but even then, I mean, that's still pretty good. You guys can save your guild points just to get shards. Awesome stuff. New feature, private guilds. Private guilds will receive a request from players who wish to join. Request must be accepted by the guild leader or an officer before the new player joins the guild. So okay, so I'm assuming that means now you have to request to join instead of just being able to just join in whenever you want. Which that kind of was a little annoying, because when you try to kick somebody that was inactive or whatever, and you want to invite a friend, they would have to like spam the join button just so nobody could take that spot, because it was annoying kind of that people would just join in whenever you didn't want that spot to be filled. You know what I'm saying? Like now people have to actually ask for an invite, and the officers of the guild leader will have to accept it, which is really good. That should have been implemented at the beginning, in my opinion, but it's really good that it's being implemented now. It's only been a month into the game's release, so really good stuff. New feature, guild BR and level requirements. Battle rating requirements and minimum player level added for guild. Players won't be able to see or apply to a guild if they don't meet the requirements. So now you can actually set your guild's BR and level requirements. So you have to be a certain level and a certain BR in order to join this specific guild. So good stuff for guild officers and guild leaders trying to recruit people that have been actually playing the game and, you know, have their BR high and their level high, and that shows consistency, guys. That shows that people are playing the game, people are actually upgrading their units and farming for gear and whatnot. That's good stuff for good members and guilds in general. New feature, manage guild privacy. Guild leaders can now access privacy options from the edit button next to the guild's name in the guild menu. Use this feature to switch between public and private status, or to adjust the required BR and level for your guild. Okay, so you can go from private guild to public guild. I'm assuming public guild means people can just join whenever they want, and private, it means that you have to actually ask for an invite. That's going to be big for like the top guilds in the servers. Obviously, they're going to be probably private, so they don't just, you know, not just anybody who maybe just started the game or whatever walks in and joins their guild. A new feature, guild invite. You can invite a friend or another player to your guild. That's cool, because now you can actually invite your friends or people in general in chat looking for guild. You can just click their name. I'm assuming you can just click their name and invite them to the guild. Pretty good stuff. And new feature, good message of the day. Guild leaders can add or edit a message to their guild by tapping on the edit button next to the message of the day in the guild menu. The message of the day will be visible from the guild home tab and will be pinned on top of the guild chat. So okay, so now you can, your guild leaders or officers can, I'm assuming guild officers as well, can do guild messages of the day. So there's something that needs to be spread around throughout the guild. Now they can do that using the guild message of the day. Pretty good stuff. Guild coins will now be directly sent to the player's profile. No need to go to the inbox anymore. That's actually really good. It was kind of annoying collecting all your coins and then having to go to the inbox, get the coins, then delete the inbox, the mail, which is kind of annoying. But now it's fixed, so there we go. Problem solved. Add a guild chat button in the guild menu as a shortcut to get to the guild chat. Okay, cool. So now you don't have to go into the actual chat and go down to click to the guild chat. Now you can just go directly from the guild chat button. Good stuff. Now let's look into Arena. So new feature, defense history and revenge, attacks in the new revenge substat of the Arena menu. This is huge, guys. Now you can actually see if your defense is actually doing work. If your defense is actually holding up, instead of guessing and be like, oh man, my rank is going down so low, my defense must suck. But really, it's just people are just attacking over and over and getting higher. But now you can actually see if your history, through your history, if your guild defense is actually, you know, doing work. Like I said, if it's actually working. Revenge, you could pretty much means you could just revenge whoever attacked you to make their rank go lower and just get back at them pretty much. New feature, guild leaderboards with weekly rewards ranked by cumulative trophies of guild members. Guild leaderboards with weekly rewards. Not too sure what this means. Ranked by cumulative trophies of guild members. I'm not too sure what this means. I'm assuming your guild, who's doing the best in your guild, maybe? And then with weekly rewards, so that's does that mean there's another reward on top of that on your weekly? I'm not sure. To be honest, I'm not sure what that means. Hopefully we get more insight on that later. Attack, revenge, and challenge are now grouped together under the fight tab in the arena. Okay, so now they're together with challengers, so you don't have to go and scroll to different tabs. That's cool. Arena menu will now show the potential trophy gain loss in arena. Improve stability of arena, especially on Windows. That's huge. Because if that means no more crashing while you're on Windows, because I play and stream on Windows all the time, and I can't do PvP when I'm playing on my PC because it crashes like every single time. I get maybe like 1 or 2 games in that doesn't crash, but I can't do arena, especially that during rush hour. Not in my PC, which was a kind of a letdown. But hopefully this fixes it, which is great. Arena matches will now always start with auto turned off. That's good. Now you don't have to worry about your team running amok because you left it on auto. That's great. Added a consecutive win bonus that is lost upon refreshing the opponent list or losing. So that's good because if you're winning constantly, you get a. If it's like Summoner's Ward, I know I keep referencing that game, but if it's like that game, then you get a buff to your attack and HP. I'm not sure what buffs it is here, but you get a buff to your attack and HP in Summoner's War. So hopefully it's kind of the same here. If you win a certain amount, you get like a 1 or 2, whatever, up to whatever HP attack percent buff. That's cool. So that way you don't have to. If you refresh it though, you do lose it. But if you just keep going, you keep that buff on you, which is great. Players can only attempt to attack a specific opponent 3 times before refreshing. If they're all failures, the opponent becomes unavailable. So if you're consecutively trying to farm one guy, not farm, but attack this one guy, and I'm guessing if you keep losing to them, you won't be able. Okay, so this kind of reduces boosting. I guess you could say that, because I don't know if people do this, but if they do, that's them. But if you're boosting somebody, this thing stops you from attacking after 3 times. So you have to refresh after that if you want to attack. Well, I guess you have to refresh if you want to have another person to attack. But now you can't boost. So that's big. Yeah, you can't boost anymore. Alright. Revamp the arena menu to have a better display of league rewards. Optimize maintenance to lower maintenance times. Fix several issues with incorrect rewards paying out from the arena leaderboards. Okay, made it clear which league you are in the rewards tab. That's good, because now you can actually see where you're at. I think before it was bugged, or I don't know if it showed you correctly, but this is better if it makes it clear. Added a button so players can see where they are in leaderboards, not just the top 100 players. Fixing an issue where players' arena trophies would be reset to 0. Players can now easily choose the active leader trait. Okay, that's great, because before, or as it is right now, the person in the center, the top center of your defense is the one that had the leader ability, the synergy trait. Now you can choose which way you want, which is really good. Now you don't have to have like your BM in the front line because you want that attack speed, or if you use a basilisk, like the water one and the light one, to give you the 30% defense. You can put him anywhere on the board. That's great. Really good stuff. Adventure mode. Scenarios will now save players' teams even after a solo scenario. That's good. It's kind of annoying that you have to put your team on every single time. Fix an issue that results in game being stuck on the champions dancing at the end of the action phase. Fix an issue where champion did not avoid or re-affect an epic and legend scenarios. Okay, so a few fixes. Good fixes. 5v5 mode. Improve match stability. Globally increase damage of all champions. And globally reduce defense scaling with levels. So you're doing more damage with all your champions, but you're reducing the defense scaling with each level. So that means you're killing them faster later on after you gain levels. So the matches are a little faster, I'm assuming. Increase the damage reduction of towers and core. So towers and core do less damage now. Increased health of core, increased health of jungle creeps, reduced damage of super troops, increased health of troops. So it looks like you have to do you have to do more damage to the core just to destroy it, which is good in a way, because before you could just destroy towers and then go straight into the core and just stand in the core and beat on it while your champions try to kill you and get you off of it. But I'm not too big on 5v5 yet, but from what I saw, it was really easy just to break down the core quick. But now that with the damage reduction of towers and core, is it going to be easier to get into the core? That's kind of wait and see kind of thing. Increase the health of jungle creeps. Not many people did jungle. not that I know of. When I play 5v5, not many people jungled. Super troops did a ton of damage, so that's actually good to see because you could not clear. I couldn't clear. Maybe it was just me. Maybe I suck, but I couldn't clear a wave of super troops by myself with my champion. They did too much damage. I needed help. I don't care what I said. I need help. Increased health of troops. So regular troops have more health, but they do reduce. Well, the super troops do reduce damage, but the regular troops have increased health. Added speed pickups in the river to allow for swifter map traversal and ganking paths. So now they're actually from that alone, it kind of seems like they want you to jungle more so you can get around the jungle faster by getting the speed pickups. So jungling is actually maybe better now to do. But like I said, when I played 5v5, no one jungled, everyone just went straight mid. But it was weird. But anyways, that could be good. Ultimate Blitz fixes. Added the game speed button to ultimate Blitz outside of the tactical mode. Okay. Raid fixes. Steel Widow's Crystal Towers will not cast their skill immediately as soon as they spawn to allow players to first react. Okay, so now the Crystal Towers won't cast their... Oh, I see. Okay, so now instead of the immunity being applied immediately, it actually takes them a few... I'm guessing it's going to take them a few seconds before they actually cast it on there. And then, I don't know, maybe... So here's Crystal Towers, so I'm assuming it's both of them. So the ongoing damage tower won't do it right away. That way you could kind of set up for it with your immunity, or I mean, if you're using the Dark Dry, it doesn't matter because she cleanses it off. But if you're running immunity, it's good because it'll give the time to actually cast the immunity before anything else. Before that, the ongoing damage goes on, and then on the right side, before the tower just gets immunity and then shield or whatever, cleanse and shield, cleanse and immunity. Now you actually get prepared for that. Steel Widow's right Crystal Tower will give immunity buff before cleansing it. Okay. Okay, so raid bosses cannot be affected by lower attack speed. That's pretty big, guys. I don't care what people say about Mojo. Mojo is the man in ED10, okay, guys? If you don't build Mojo, you go build him, because now he even better now, because he not only does he put that I forgot what it's called, but it's like glancing hit. But now he even lowers attack speed on top of his two other things. Attack buff, defense buff, lowers attack speed. Disorient, that's what it is. And now he puts Disorient. I mean, well, he put on Disorient now, but now he puts on lower attack speed. That alone should tell you Mojo is definitely worth building, guys. You build Mojo. Mojo lives matter, okay? Build Mojo, guys. Stats cap, added accuracy, resistance, and crit rate cap to 100%. Okay, so now I can't go over 100%, stays at 100%. Added a cooldown reduction cap, no skill can be reduced more than 40%. Note that this does not affect skills which directly reduce cooldown. This right there, guys, that's the biggest thing, my takeaway from this patch. They actually added a reduced cooldown cap. Normally people would have a depth set, which is already 30%. On top of a leader ability like Manas or Rare Demon, which is another 20%. That's 50% reduced cooldown. And then you have your champions that are reduced cooldown. So people are abusing that like crazy. Now you can't go past 40%. Granted, there's still champions that reduce cooldown, like Rhoda still does her Tempest, reduces cooldown. That's still gonna work on top of the 40%. And so is the Light Boon Xenia. So she's still going to reduce cooldowns on top of the 40%. But now you can't get past 40%, period. So it kind of shifts things a little bit here, guys. This is pretty big. 40% is still a lot, obviously. I mean, there's still 40%. Because the depth gear itself is 30%. But like I said, you got to kind of choose wisely now what you want to do. Because now you can't abuse all this reduced cooldown. And like Water Archangels, they can't just spam over and over the vulnerability. They have to choose kind of like what they want to do. That's pretty cool. I always thought there should have been a cap to reduce cooldowns, and that's pretty cool that they actually implemented that. I think that's badass. Buff and debuff. Fix an issue that caused blinded or silenced allies to stop attacking, moving, or using skills. Blinded. Oh, okay. This is. Because whenever I use, let's say I had, okay, so now I use my Blade Master, and I went up against an Archangel, like a Fire one, and he silenced me. I was not able to move when I was silenced. they would stop attacking, moving, or using skills. Period. Well, obviously they can't use skills because they're silenced. But the blinded, you could still use skills. But this is big, and now you couldn't even move out of it. You had to stay in that until the duration. So that's good. That's good that they fixed that. Fixed an issue that caused the D-pad to lock up while blinded or silenced, preventing players from. Okay, so that's the same thing. The D-pad. I guess that's the same thing. Fixed an issue that caused blindness, silence that allows to stop attacking, moving, or using skills. Fixed an issue that caused the D-pad to lock up. Okay, so oh, I see what you mean. Okay, so when you're controlling your D-pad on your phone, it would get stuck. Okay, I see. Okay, I get it. Took me a minute. All right, gear adjustment. Dazzling gear set would not attempt to apply stun effect on the same target more than once every second. Increase the minimum value of some sub-stats for higher tier grade. Okay, so Dazzling gear set will not attempt to apply stun effect on the same target more than once every second. So if you have an ability that hits multiple times, I guess you can only try to apply stun every second instead of every single time it hits. So they kind of like a minor nerf to that, I guess. But I think it's much needed because sometimes the stuns are just constantly OP. They're just especially if you have multiple units stunning you with Dazzling gear and using all their abilities at the same time. So they can only attempt to apply stun effect on the same target more than once. Okay, they can attempt to more than once every second. Gotcha. Increases the minimum value of some substats for higher tier grade. That's good because sometimes when you have a 6-star gear and you have like flat attack, I guess I don't know why I'm using flat attack, but you would get like +2 attack. I've seen that happen so many times. And I was like, wait, why? Why am I getting +2 instead of like +20? That was just ridiculous. But yeah, that's good. Champion fixes and arena plus PvE. Champion fixes and arena plus PvE balancing. Remove the delay on champion area that caused them to not use their skills immediately when they became available. That's good because sometimes they would kind of derp and not use their skills when it's off cooldown. So that's good. Fix an issue with multicast skills that can be triggered earlier by using the skill again that were sometimes getting stuck. When also using champions that reduces cooldown. He triggered. Alright, improve targeting range of champions that are using ally buffing skills to make them more reliable. Improve targeting range of champions that are using. Okay, that's good. Improve AI consideration of buffing skill to allow no downtime of some of these effects. Okay. So let's look at the Archangel. Fixed issue, Archangel nature not correctly gives immunity. Oh, okay. So the Archangel gives immunity now instead of the haste. That's really good because I thought that the Archangel, the nature one, was kind of like the worst one. Now that he gives immunity, that's actually really, really good. Now he's kind of even with the other ones, I would think. Immunity is really great. That's good. Good for him. Astromancer, increased damage dealt to secondary targets by empowered Astro Buff by 100%. Increased singularity and mass implosion damage by 20%. Increased active rate instead of damage 10%. Let's go to 20 seconds. So Astromancer just got a major buff to me. That's pretty cool. That's gonna be another DPS that I would actually want to build now because I actually wanted to build the I think it's the fire one. Look kind of interesting to me. Everyone's building the light one now because of the whole beam thing. But I was looking at the fire one, so we will see on that. That looks like a buff to me. Basilisk, increased searing breath and fire breath damage by 25%. So they got a small little buff on their searing breath. That's pretty good. I use the water basilisk myself, so that's a little plus. Blade Master, fixed issue, raised damage cap on 1,000 blades per damage instance, and made it so crit can exceed the cap. Okay, so there was an issue with that 1,000 blades. I understand that why. I understand why they fixed that. Fixed issue dervish spins. Cooldown reduction would now work properly for light and water. So, okay, so I guess it wasn't working right because the light and water, when they're dervish spin, for every enemy hit, they would reduce the cooldowns a little bit for every one of them hits. So I guess it wasn't working right, so they fixed that. That's good. Fixed issue, Blade Master becomes vulnerable and targetable at the right time after casting Dance of Death and 1,000 Blades. That's kind of good because sometimes when they come out of the 1,000 blades and their Dance of Death, they wouldn't be targetable, even though they'd just be standing there. So hopefully that fixes that, so they can be targetable again before they actually get to move or whatever. Boon Sister, fixed issue wave of celerities. Cooldown cannot be reduced by other skills. Okay, so she can't have that reduced by other skills. That's kind of a nerf, because now you can't reduce that to get faster healing by, I guess, like Manas can't reduce, any kind of timekeeper can't reduce their skills on wave of celerities anymore. So kind of a little nerf. Fixed issue, fixed wave of celerity, healing, heal, and empowering will not heal herself 3 times. I did notice that. So when the ring will expand, it would heal her, and then when it would come back down, it would heal them twice instead of 1 time. So that's kind of a good thing. They fixed that. Well, I mean, it's not a good thing, but it's still something. I mean, it was something that should have been done, because I mean, why would it only heal her 3 times and not everybody else, right? Crystal Priest increases range of bouncing for Wave of Harmony. Okay, so the range of that is increased. That's pretty good. Dino Kid increased damage of Toxic Dark, Tranquilizer Dark, Paralyzer Dark by 50%, increased damage of Gotham, and Ferocious Roar damage by 2%. So he got a small buff. That's pretty good. Dino Kids were kind of looked away from because of, I don't know, maybe they weren't doing that much damage or whatever. But now this gives them a little boost. Maybe people actually start building them. Dryad Healing Bloom, the nature one, will now do flat healing in addition to regeneration buff. Okay. Purifying Bloom Dark will now heal before cleansing targets instead of after. This will make the Mortal Wounds debuff have more effect in countering the Dark Dryad. That's good, because right now, as it stands, Dark Dryads are OP in AD. And people with Mortal Wounds, they would just immediately get that. They would immediately cleanse that. So this is kind of like a way of countering them in a sense. So that's pretty good. Esper, fixed issue, Sonic Barrier will lower attack speed on the first hit against each target instead of every hit. Fixed issue Pummel will now reduce Psychic Shield and Sonic Barrier cooldown properly. And Sonic Barrier lowers attack speed debuff duration increase from 3 seconds to 9 seconds. Wow, that's pretty good. That is pretty good. So Esper's got it fixed, and Sonic Barrier got a little boost. That's pretty good. I personally want to build a Water Esper for Widow, especially because they're whatchamacallit, epic Widow demolishers, and I can see why. They strip and they lower attack buff. I believe they have a lower attack buff. Yeah. Harpy increased Seeking Feather and Biting Feather damage by 25%. Okay. All right. No, I haven't seen too many people use Harpy, but maybe that'll change. Monkey King, fixed issue. Monkey King becomes invulnerable and untargetable immediately when Monkey Tricks and Acrobatic Feint are activated. Fixed issue. Monkey King will now use his overhead flip and overhead toss on raid bosses. Okay. Improvement. Clones will not damage targets only once. Damage on Uppercut has been increased by 300% and on clones by 200%. Change effect both team play and playful clones. So they're kind of getting a little buff. All elements. Increase empowered Nimbus strike damage from 110 to 200. Increase overhead flip and overhead toss damage by 25%. Reduce recovery delay and animation of the overhead flip and overhead toss. Increased energy trade value from 40% to 41% now applies to all allies, not just allies of the same element, making his synergy trade a viable alternative to the Naga. So, well, not just Fire Ones, but all Monkey Kings got a little buff. So, again, if you fed your Fire Monkey King, rip, because they got a small buff. So, I don't know how they're gonna work now, guys, but it looks like they might be viable now. They've actually built. So hopefully you guys kept your Monkey Kings and are maybe looking forward to building them now. Alright, so Nagas. Increased Inkjet, Darken Water, Ink Squirt Nature, and Ink Cloud Firelight damage by 25%. Blood for Water and Light skill now slows in addition to its other effects. So the Water and Light got a slow added to their Flood. And increased Inkjet and Ink Squirt and Ink Cloud damage by 25%. So they got a small little buff. Not too bad. Pirate, fixed issue. AI will use Concussive Shot and well-placed shot on raid bosses. So before that, I heard that they weren't using that, the Concussive Shot and well-placed shot on raid bosses. It's good to know that they actually fixed that, making them more viable, even more viable in dragons and even Widow. Fixed issue ground markers will show the appropriate team color. Okay. Scion increase Psycho Pulse, Wave of Terror, Psycho Wave, Plasma Beam, Radiation Ray, damage by 25%. Small little buff to Scions. Sentinels, increase hookshot and grappling chain damage by 50%. Small buff to Sentinels. The Sharks. Fixed issue Shark will now always apply mortal wounds debuff when empowered by Mortal Edge, Light, and Feeding Frenzy fire on last empowered attack. Okay, so increase Hungry Strike damage by 25% when enhanced by Mortal Edge and Feeding Frenzy for the Light and Fire. Increase Killer Slice and Bloodseeker Slash damage by 100%. Reduce dive attack and final by cooldown from 36 seconds to 30 seconds. So a little small buff to the Shark. Scan Berserker, fix the display issue that costs his recommended gear to show. Sets to add up to more than 6 pieces of gear. Okay, so fix an issue on that. Scan Warlord improvement. When charging, the Scan Warlord will now stop hitting as if hitting a wall if it hits a target that cannot be moved. Okay, that's cool. Snake Lady, fixed issue with Snake Lady's Venom Verse, blinding poison and enfeebling toxin not firing correctly when used by the AI. I have heard a lot of issues about the Snake Lady's ultimates not, or the third skill is not firing properly. So this is good to know that they actually fixed that. Now they can actually be more reliable on that. Spearman, increased martial dance, fire light damage by 50%. Small buff to the fire and light Spearman. Tiki Warrior, increased Tiki spin damage by 60%. Increased Earth Slam, Fissure, and Quake damage by 25%. I actually know someone who's 6-starred the Nature Tiki and uses them on their arena defense. So this is good news for them and anybody else who's built a Tiki Warrior. Good stuff. Valkyrie, increased bounce range of Healing Breeze, Water, and Rejuvenation Breeze, Dark Seal. Increases bounce range. Oh, okay. So their healing's a little bit better. That's good. Many buff skills now have an unlimited range. So this right here, guys, is huge. Really huge. Now the Archangel's Aegis, Archangel, and the Guardian Angel have unlimited range. So that doesn't matter where they're on the field, they're gonna get caught by that buff. That is really big because it was so annoying having like the Rangers, the Basilisk, the Crystal Priest, the Squires, anyone that has a big buff like the Nagas, like the shield that they have, Valkyrie's Tempest, the Archangel's dodge roll and attack speed buff and attack buff. Limitless range now, guys. So no matter where they're on the field, they're gonna get that buff. This is great, especially for like immunity givers like Basilisk and the Crystal Priest that give immunity. Doesn't matter where they are on the field, they're gonna get that immunity. This is game changing, guys. It's gonna make Elder Dragons and Steel Widow runs so much better and so much safer. This is great. Like that was much needed, guys, because the range on that was so low, like so small. It was just terrible. But now with this is great. Great. That's all I can say. 5v5 balancing only affects champions in 5v5. So Spearman increased attack and lifesteal. Monkey King increased attack scaling with levels. Pirate increased max HP with levels. Snake Lady increased attack and HP. Mercenaries increased defense. Kind of a big, well, not big, but small nerf to Fox Assassins. It reduces the ongoing damage duration on Heart Ripper skills, so they can't just like kill you from like a quarter health or whatever they used to be at. They have to get you down even further now. I thought that was pretty OP of them in the beginning. So it's kind of a small little nerf, like I said. Maybe big. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not big on 5v5s, but it might be a really big nerf. But it is a nerf nonetheless. Now they have to actually get them down even further before that. Royal Tower, reduce ongoing damage on checkmate skill. Dragon Guard, increase all skill damage. Naga, increase flood damage and add a slow debuff. Derby Girl, reduce empowered basic damage, increase Grand Slam damage. I know a lot of people that play the Dark Derby Girl too, so they are probably loving this patch right now. Dryad, reduce immobilized duration. Greater Demon, reduce defense scaling with levels, reduce shield amount on devoured magic. So they got kind of a little small nerf. The Fire Greater Demon, I know he used to be unkillable pretty much. He used to be unkillable, like damn near unkillable. You couldn't kill this guy at 1v1. You had to like 3v5 or 3v1 him because you could not kill him. So this is gonna make him a little bit weaker and a little bit easier to 1v1 maybe even. Timekeeper, Echo Blaze won't heal minions anymore. Decrease ripple bomb damage. So there you guys have it. First major patch, quality of life improvements. My personal thoughts, much needed, guys. This is fantastic in my opinion. Really good stuff. I can't believe it finally came in. We were waiting for it for so long, but even then, like, it was worth the wait, guys. These are really good improvements to the game. Really good direction the game is taking. I hope they keep improving it more and more, because as it is now, like, this is a very good first step for Gameloft and Dungeon Hunter Champions, in my opinion. So many good stuff, so much good stuff. It's just great all around for me, in my opinion. I don't think there's anything bad that I don't like about this. Not that I know of, at least. But let me know what you guys think. I want to hear from y'all. Like, this is awesome for me. If you have any questions or anything, if you want to chat about anything, feel free to comment in the section below. If you like this video, give it a like. If you haven't subscribed yet, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. And I'll see you guys next time on the next video. Later, guys.